Hi, welcome to the video on beginning adding integers. So you're going to need a couple of things before we start. Hopefully you've already got them, but if you don't, you can always pause the video and get them. So the first thing you're going to need is this paper on adding integers, and then the second thing you're going to need is a baggie of integer chips. So there are two different kinds, and whichever kind you use is fine. So one of them looks like this. It's got separate black and red chips. And then the other kind is red and yellow, and the chips are red on one side and yellow on the other. So I'll show you how we're going to use either of them. And you only need one bag of chips between you and your partner. So if we have the black and red ones, then the black ones are going to represent positive numbers, and the red ones are going to represent negative numbers. And we've talked about before, the reason that is because back when they used to keep like physical books using ink, they used black for positive things if you were putting money into an account, and they used red if you were owing someone money or taking money out of account as kind of a like warning type of thing, so that you knew you were really aware of the money that was going out. If you're using the yellow and red chips, then you can flip them either side. The yellow is going to be for positive and the red is going to be for negative. So I'm going to go ahead and use the black and red ones right now, but you just use yellow instead of black if you have the other kinds of chips. So we're going to start right here and talk about a specific situation. So I have 1, 2, 3 black chips, and oops, I'm sorry, I was mistaken. These are negative. They have the negative on them. So those are going to be 3 red chips. So that's going to be -3. So these 3 red chips here are -3. And then I'm going to have 2 black or yellow chips, and that's going to be +2. So this is going to be +2. And we're going to be adding integers today. So we're going to take our -3 plus our +2. Now let's think for just a minute. Let's think about these as money in your lunch account. So if you have +$1 in your lunch account, and this would be like if you have -$1 in your lunch account. So if you had -$1 in your lunch account, you had -1, and then you added $1, you paid the cashier $1, think about what would happen to your lunch account. It would be 0. So basically, they cancel each other out, they make them go away. These are called zero pairs. So when I have a positive and a -1, they form a zero pair, and then they go away. So that's the same thing that's going to happen up here. When we have -3 and we have +2, we can form 2 zero pairs, and so these are both 0 and they go away or cancel out, and what we're left with is -1. So when we have -3 plus 2, that gives us -1. Our sum here is negative. Now when it says type of sum, we can just say either different or the same. You don't have to write out integers with different signs. You can just say that they have different signs, or you can say that they have the same sign. So something like this, where we have -4 and -3, that would be something with the same sign. And then over here, you can either say positive, negative, or 0. And then what you're looking for as you go through this are some patterns. So we don't want to be using like chips, red and black chips for the rest of our lives to add integers. We're looking for, are there kind of some shortcuts or some patterns we can use so that we can add integers in our heads. So as you are going through these, I want you to use the positive and negative integer chips to kind of help you figure out what they are, and then you're looking for patterns or shortcuts. And if you figure out some patterns or shortcuts, I want you, at least for the first few, to kind of use the chips to make sure that you're on the right track with those. Okay, see you when I get back. Bye.